guys, we're here at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. Are you excited, honey, about going in and seeing what they have to offer?
Yes, I am.
We want to see what this picture, how it turns out, guys.
Alright.
Let's go.
Very long line, yeah, but that's usual for Gatlinburg. So we're running a little bit behind. Jen's a little slow today. A lot of traffic, a lot of people here. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Creature of the sea. Or should I say Jack Sparrow, maybe. We're getting ready to try to scan our tickets that we bought online. I would recommend doing that instead of standing in line to get tickets. Downstairs? Okay.
Upstairs.
Upstairs?
Yeah, about 4 steps over there. You can stay right there.
Okay, thanks. Big polar bear. And we're running to the boat. Always be a little early, people. You don't want to be late and always rushing like we are. More Christmas trees. Gift shop. Now we're over here. Okay. We actually missed our boat ride, so we're going to check and see in a little bit if we can get in or not. That's really nice. Yes, to me, this is the nicest part of the attraction here. You've got this big, huge pond with sharks, sawfish, everything in there. Sunken ships. Very nice. We actually missed our trip, our boat ride, because of traffic. But if you miss yours, don't worry. They will refund your money. But this, look here how nice. I mean, this.
You can see the people in the bottom.
You can actually see all the people in the bottom there walking through the tunnel as well. Look at that shark. Wow, nice. Okay, here's Jen getting on the boat. She's very excited, and we're ready to go.
Oh boy there. Welcome to the Glass Bottom Boat Adventure. My name is Matt, and I'll be your captain today. In the back, we have our trusty navigator of this lagoon, Mr. Josh. I'd suggest being nice to him. He makes sure we stay nice and dry over the shark tank. Millions of years ago, this area was covered by ocean. Over time, the Smoky Mountains rose up and pushed most of the water back towards the Atlantic. Some went west and formed the Mississippi River, but right here in the heart of Gatlinburg, somehow this lagoon remained. We believe that during his travels, Blackbeard the pirate found the lagoon and thought it would be a wonderful place to hide his treasure, because it is guarded by 18 fully grown sharks, like that female sand tiger shark that just swam under Mr. Josh's feet. We do have 12 sand tiger sharks in this tank. We also have 3 nurse sharks, 2 sandbar sharks, and 1 black-tip reef shark. We have found most of Blackbeard's treasure, but not all of it. I'll need your help looking for some hints to finding the rest. Those hints are going to be our 2 sawfish, our green sea turtle, and our southern stingray, the only stingray in this lagoon. If you see any of those wonderful creatures under the boat, please yell treasure. That way I can tell you more about them. Also, if you see something down there you want to know more about, feel free to ask. Just please be a little more specific than, hey, what's that? There are over 5,000 gnats down there from 76 different species. It might take a minute to figure out which that you're talking about. Below us, you'll see our most exotic and dangerous creature. That tunnel's where we keep the people fish. Now, don't be afraid. We do train them, so if you wave at them, they should wave back. Some of the more advanced ones might even try to take your picture. Some do not quite seem to notice us, though. We call those the oblivious fish. You have to watch out for the really tiny ones. They're the most dangerous. If you stare into their eyes for too long, they will steal your hearts, and then they'll steal your paychecks. Now we are floating on top of 550,000 gallons of man-made salt water. And I did say it's man-made. We're a little too far away from the ocean to carry a bucket back and forth every day. I'm going to pause for a second and I'm going to tell you about him right there. That is our male sawfish. He is the longest fish in the aquarium at around 16 feet in length. and he weighs about 200 to 250 pounds.
Wow, that's huge.
Now, he's not a big fan of the boat, so we're not going to hang out over him too long. We don't want to stress him out, but I'll tell you all about the sawfish when we pass over the female, because she normally will give us a lot more time to look at her. Now, like I was saying, this saltwater, because we're so far away from the ocean and can't bring it in from there, what we do is we take the Gatlinburg city water and filter out all the stuff that people want, and we put in all the stuff the fish need, which includes several hundred pounds of salt every day. And it is just ordinary table salt. We filter out all of the water in this aquarium every 74 minutes. We have some pretty big water filters in here.
Huh?
Now, do y'all think that the coral in this tank is real or fake?
Fake.
Fake? Well, that is correct. We cannot have any live coral in this tank because of the divers. Live coral is very fragile, and if a diver bumped into it, they could break it and kill it, which would make us sad because coral's endangered. We're down to about 20%. We're going to try that. Alright. Now, those sharks y'all see down there at the bottom of the tank, have y'all ever heard that sharks have to swim forward all the time to breathe, even when they're asleep? Because that's true for most sharks. But they're alright, obviously, or I'd be panicking. Those are nurse sharks. They belong to a family of shark species that are known as carpet sharks. As the name implies, they can lay on the seafloor. They have muscles that let them pump water through their gills that most sharks do not have. And in the wild, nurse sharks will sleep together in pods, and they'll pile on top of each other. We only have 3 in here, and I guess I don't think that's big enough for a pod, because every now and then, when the divers go into the lagoon, if one of them accidentally bumps up against a nurse shark, that shark may chase the diver around the lagoon and try to cuddle with them. Yeah, I bet y'all weren't expecting to hear that one, were you? No. That sand tiger shark is definitely a female, and I know because of her size, females will always be larger than males. They are the ones who carry the babies. It's harder to swim when you have passengers on board, so they need the extra muscle to help them out. Sharks do not have swim bladders, and a swim bladder is what helps most fish float when they're not moving. So most sharks, if they swim too slow, kind of like an airplane flying too slow, they'll just start to sink. The sand tigers, however, are more like a blimp. Even when they're not moving, they'll float in place, but they are one of the sharks that does have to move all the time to breathe. So if you see them floating in place, they'll be holding their breath, and they'll only do it for about a half hour at a time, which I gotta say is outstanding. If I tried to hold my breath for half an hour, yeah, I'd probably just not breathe again.
Yep.
So the sawfish are not sharks. Y'all think y'all could guess what they might be a little more closely related to?
No idea.
Sawfish are actually in the ray family. Very closely related to the stingrays. Few ways we know that. Number 1, their large pectoral fins do actually look a lot like the wings on a stingray. Number 2, sawfish and stingrays will both have 2 holes on top of their heads called spiracles, and that is how they breathe. Their mouths are on the bottom of their bodies. They love to lay on their bellies all the time, and it is kind of hard to breathe through your mouth if it's pressed up against the ground, so it's like they have their nostrils on top of their head. And last, when y'all go through the tunnel, look up at the sawfish, you'll see they have the same goofy looking smile as a stingray. That is because they do not have teeth. They have what are called grinding plates because they're bottom feeders. They love to eat crustaceans which have shells. It is hard to bite through shells with pointy teeth like what sharks have, but their grinding plates are flat and rough, and they have really powerful jaws, so they can crush the shells up and get to the meat inside very easily. I do like to say sawfish are pretty much just stingrays with mermaid tails and funny looking nose jobs. So, are y'all wondering why it is that our sharks are not having an all-you-can-eat buffet in here all the time?
Why is that?
Well, we feed them twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in the wild, they'd be lucky to get about 1% of their body weight in food every week. Here we feed them about 3% of their body weight in food every week, so we're overfeeding them. And they get fancy stuff like salmon, mahi, halibut, and bluefin. They eat better than I do, so if you ever wonder where the admission money goes, it's into their bellies, not my paycheck. Now, we don't just throw it in here whole and hope they get it. It gets filleted up for them, and then the divers will stand around the edge of the tank. They'll have long poles with grabbers on them that they use to hold the fillets in the water. When the sharks swim by, the divers will just put the fillets right in their mouths. That is called target feeding, and we do it that way because our divers can tell all of our sharks apart, so they know which ones have been fed and which ones have not, and the sharks will not see the people giving them the food. It's the same concept as the signs in the national park that say don't feed the bears. We don't want them thinking every time they see a human they're going to get fed.
Makes sense.
Now y'all see that long slender fish down there with the shiny belly, dark stripe down his back? We got two of them over there. Those are called tarpon. Tarpon have been around since the time of the dinosaur. They've survived for so long because of the insane amount of eggs they can lay at one time. Y'all think y'all can guess how many eggs a tarpon can lay at once?
No clue.
Throw out a big number.
5,000.
Alright.
I think that's
Nowhere near close.
Really?
It's a lot higher.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. They can lay up to 12 million eggs in a single clutch. Females start laying eggs at around 7 years old, live to be around 50, and that is why we only have 3 females and no males in this tank. One male, this would not be Shark Lagoon anymore, it'd be Tarpon Tank. We'd be trying to get rid of all those tarpon with things like Tarpon Taco Tuesday, buy one t-shirt, get one tarpon free, and everyone gets to leave with a free tarpon. We'd just be going, you get a tarpon, you get a tarpon, everybody gets a tarpon. We'd make Oprah jealous.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Look at that big thing.
That's another one of the female sand tigers.
What picture?
Oh, that's really nice. Okay, honey, did you learn anything? Here is the next group of people going across the tank in the boat. Apparently what they do is just pull themselves across with the rope. Oh, yeah, look there. There's Jaws getting ready to attack the boat. We're in the tropical rainforest. Following Jen up through here. We see what our adventure holds. And here's Jen. Yes, we're entering the, apparently it's a playground for the kids. Well, it's really nice looking. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting on that myself. That's nice. Let's go do it, honey.
Yeah.
Look at the big dinosaur up above there. Big.
Yeah. Tilapia pa more.
We have just entered the downstairs floor. Looking around, a very big fish tank here. A lot of different types of fish.
That's the tank, right?
Yeah, actually we're on the bottom and we can actually see up through to the boat where we were at earlier.
See the people.
Oh, you can see the people. Yeah, give me a chair to sit on.
Huh?
That's where we were at earlier. You can actually see through this up to them as well. Look at this fish. Wow, that's a scary looking thing. There's a shark floating over top of us here. And this is a tunnel. We actually have a conveyor belt on the bottom there that we're just actually on. It's taking us around the whole tank. Well, look at that sawfish. Oh, honey, that looks like you when I wake you up early in the morning.
Smiling. Grouchy.
That is wild. And this thing is huge.
Huge.
Yeah, nice.
That's the bottom.
Yeah, there's the conveyor belt that's actually taking us around. There's Jaws following. Actually, this shark is following Jen. She keeps looking at it and it keeps following her around this whole tank. I think the shark likes Jen. It's following her. We're here at the Stingray Pond. You can actually touch these stingrays as they swim past you.
But I didn't.
But Jen did not do it this time.
Allergy.
Hey guys, we have finished our tour of Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. Honey, what did you think?
It's alright. I like the aquarium in Kentucky better.
Newport Aquarium was better?
Yeah.
Okay, well this was entertaining. I have to say I think the other one was probably better. But this is entertaining enough. So a little disorganized, but that's okay.
Thanks, guys. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And ring the bell.
Now on to our next adventure.
See you at the next video.